Welcome to the reorganization meeting of the Central Valley School Board, December the 7th, 2023. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Darlene, will you please call roll?
Caroline,
Here. Well,
Castro,
Here.
Mr. Bloom,
Here. Yeah, before we do public comment.
Senzo,
Here.
Mr.
Right here.
McDonald,
Here.
Mr. Moran,
Here.
Mr. O'Neill,
Here.
Mr. Beck,
Here.
Mr. Amherst.
No.
Here. Thank you. Item number 3 on the agenda, public comments on agenda items only. And let me clarify something. If you have anything other than what's on the agenda, you can then express that at the end of the meeting. Thank you for your cooperation.
So before we get to that, the solicitor is going to announce an executive session.
Yeah, we had an executive session on personnel matters and several legal issues. And as far as Mr. Ambrose said for public comment, we have policies that we follow for public comment. Each comment made by a participant is limited to 3 minutes without exception. No participant may speak more than once on the same topic, and all statements shall be directed to the president of the board. The participants may not address or question board members on an individual basis.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Any public comment?
Public comment is right.
Nothing on the agenda.
I will. I'm going to congratulate the newly elected Anthony and Joel to the board, and Mr. Ross and Mr. O'Neill for being reelected, and thank all of you and Mr. Bloom, sorry about that. And thank you all for stepping up. I don't have any children in the school district, but it's a very important job and thankless.
Thank you for your comment. Appreciate that. Okay, moving right along. Election of a temporary president. Okay. All nominations do not require a second. I will now accept nominations for temporary president.
I nominate Mr. Ambrose for temporary president.
Okay. Are there any further nominations? Okay. Seeing none, if there are no objections, I declare the nominations closed. I need a motion and a second to close the nominations.
So moved. Second.
So moved by Mr. Bloom, seconded by Mr. Moed. Okay, moving right along.
All in favor?
That would be good. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Anybody wishing to vote no? Anybody wishing to abstain? Hearing none, the motion carries. Thank you.
Oh, do we do the oath now?
Yes.
Yes.
Do the oath now.
Okay, first of all,
She's gonna do the oath.
I know before she does the oath, thank you. I'd like to welcome back Mr. Ross, Mr. O'Neill, Mr. Bloom for the next 4 years. Additionally, on behalf of the Central Valley Board, I'd like to welcome newly elected board members, Mr. Anthony Adeline, who's in Region 2 and Center or District 2, and Joel McDonald from Monaca, who's in District 3. Good luck. Hope you have fun for the next 4 years.
Thank you.
Okay. Colleen, please administer the oath of office.
And Mr. Ameline, Mr. Bloom, Mr. McDonald, Mr. O'Neill, and Mr. Ross, please stand. And raise your right hand. You, Mr. Ameline, Mr. Bloom, Mr. McDonald, Mr. O'Neill, and Mr. Ross, having been elected to the office of school director for the Central Valley School District, Beaver, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, solemnly swear that you will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that you will discharge the duties of your office with fidelity. Please respond, I do.
I do.
Congratulations. Welcome to the
Thank you.
If each of you could sign the paper, the oath that's in front of you, and then I will notarize it at the end of the meeting and I'll sign my.
Okay, thank you, Colleen. All right, now. Election of board president. All nominations do not require a second. I will now accept nominations for president.
Nominate.
Dave Ambrose.
Thank you. Nominate Dave Ambrose. Are there any other further nominations? Seeing none, if there are no objections, I declare the nominations closed. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Anybody wishing to abstain? Hearing none, the motion carries. Okay. At this time, I would like to ask for nominations for vice president.
Dennis Bloom.
Dennis Bloom. Are there any other nominations for vice president? Seeing none, if there are no objections, I declare the nominations closed. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Thank you. Okay, Mr. Bloom, congratulations.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is item D, to approve the 2023 mail election ballots for the Beaver Valley Joint School Board, the Beaver Valley Joint School Committee, and the Beaver County Career and Technology Center Joint School Board. Do I have a motion on the floor? Motion by Mr. Bloom. We have a second. Second, Mrs. DeCenzo. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody wishing to vote no? Anybody wishing to abstain? Hearing none, the motion carries.
So those ballots will get in front of you here in a few minutes, and then you'll make your vote and sign them and then get them back to Colleen.
Okay, thank you. Moving right along, agenda items. A, board policy items. Number 1, to adopt a calendar setting the day, place, and time for school board meetings, both work and voting sessions, as shown on attachment A. Number 2, to designate the Beaver County Times as the newspaper of general circulation for legal advertisement. Number 3, do we have a nomination for a board treasurer from December 7th, 2023 to June 30th, 2024, replacing Mr. Tom King?
I nominate Mr. O'Neill.
Mr. O'Neill? Okay, do I have a second? Second by Mr. Senzo. We're going to vote on everything from 1 to 4, but we're going to put the word or the name of Mr. O'Neill in there. Number 4, to approve the revised policy 827, conflict of interest. That's found on attachment B. Okay, do I have a motion for items 1 through 4 on the agenda?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Moed, seconded by Mr. Ross. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody wishing to vote no? Anybody wishing to abstain? Congratulations, Mr. O'Neill.
Thank you. And one comment, that huge salary attached to that.
At $250?
Yes, let the school district keep that or donate it to somebody. That's not going to make or break me.
Okay, appreciate that.
It'll probably throw me into a new tax bracket.
There you go. That's because all that money you make,
Yeah.
you're like up there at 39%. Okay, thank you. Now, you were chosen probably because you're a good reader. So at this time, you can cover the business item.
I used to be, but bifocals and age are creeping up on me. The following bills and reports are submitted for approval. A is to pay bills. 1, confirm the November 2023 general fund payments in the amount of $1,146,609.21. That's found on attachment C. Number 2, to confirm the November 2023 cafeteria fund payments in the amount of $93,507.46. That's found on attachment D. And number three, confirm the November twenty twenty-three construction fund payments in the amount of $338,667.37, found on attachment E. I so move.
So moved by Mr. O'Neill. Do I have a second? Seconded by Ms. Belcastro. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody wishing to vote no? Anybody wishing to abstain? Hearing none, the motion carries. Being that we do not have committees set up, the committees will be set up the first of the year before our January meeting. So I've been chosen as the president to read all this, so bear with me. Item C, technology, to approve a 5-year contract with Quest Tech to provide technology support to the Central Valley School District, pending review by the solicitor. Do I have a motion on the floor?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Moed, seconded by Mr. Ross. All in favor, say aye.
Mr. Ambrose,
Question?
maybe have Mr. Miller just talk a little bit about that for the new people.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moed, for that.
So Ed, you just walked back in. As far as the contract with Quest Tech to provide technology support at Central Valley, can you just give a very, very brief explanation as to what exactly we get with that?
Quest Tech provides the staffing for my department, including network admin, the level 2 and the level 1 technicians that provide the day-to-day support for all the teachers and the students and the parents. It also provides our help desk and our call center, help desk software, network monitoring support, and knock hours for after-hour support if we were to have any type of major outage or fix.
Okay.
Other questions?
Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate the good work. Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody wishing to vote no? Anybody wishing to abstain? Hearing none, the motion carries. Item D, building and grounds. You look under number 1 to approve, confirm the following building usage request. The building is on the left towards the center is the organization and the date of these requests and the purpose. Okay. So basically, do we have a motion to approve this?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Moad, seconded by Mr. O'Neill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody wishing to vote no? Anybody wishing to abstain? Being none, the motion carries. Item E, personnel. Number 1, to approve the retirement of Rodney Davis, custodian, effective December the 22nd, 2023, found on attachment G. Number 2, to approve the resignation of George Povlitis, correct me, custodian, effective December the 15th, 2023, found on attachment H. Number 3, to approve Shannon Tress as a cafeteria general worker, 2.75 hours at a rate of $12.50 an hour in accordance with the CVESP agreement, pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances, effective December 4th, 2023. Number 4, to approve a 3-year contract for Diane Mateer, registered nurse, effective January 3rd, 2024, at a starting salary of $36,000, pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances. Number 5, to approve Linda Happich as a paraprofessional at a rate of $13.50 an hour in accordance with the CVESP agreement, pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances, effective December the 7th, 2023. Number 6, to approve the retirement of John Maley, business manager, effective December 31st, 2023, found on attachment I. And number 7, to approve Liz Walker as athletic trainer, step 1, master's degree in accordance with the CEA agreement effective December the 8th, 2023, pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances. Do I have a motion on items 1 through 7? Mr. Bloom, seconded by Mr. Senzo. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody wishing to vote no? Anybody abstain? Hearing none, the motion carries. I'd like to just hitchhike on this a moment. I believe Mr. Maley was with us for 16 years. And I think anybody that's been close to him in the world of finance, and I know Tom and myself and even Marcia, besides our administration, John Maley did a superb job. Came to work every day. Sometime you'd see his car out there at 6:30 in the morning. Okay, John Maley loved his job. We are going to miss him sorely, but we do have Joan Wayner as our new business manager, and she was trained by John, so you know you're going to be great. Moving on. Items under finance. 1, to approve to extend the lease agreement with Canon Solutions America to provide copy machines for the district pending approval by the solicitor found on attachment J. Number 2, to approve resolution 2024-03 authorizing proposed preliminary budget display and advertising found on attachment K. Do I have a motion on items 1 and 2?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Ross. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. O'Neill. Any discussion on that motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody wishing to vote no? Anybody wishing to abstain?
I'm gonna abstain from number 1, please.
Okay, thank you. Hearing none, or the motion is carried. We've had 8 yay and 1 abstention. Thank you, especially under number 1. All right. Now we'll open it up on the floor for public comments.
If you are going to make public comment, we ask that you go to the podium, please make a public comment, state your name, and then there's a sign-in sheet. I don't know if it's up there or Colleen has it as well. So.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you all again. Should I sign now before? I think it's fair to say everybody knows who I am. I don't. Here at least. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bit shorter than I thought. Well, you guys will cut me off. I know that. But there's a little bit of a different audience here in the room. And so I'm going to try to tippy-toe around this. But on election day, I had the opportunity to speak with some board members, some past board members, and something that I had brought to the school districts, the board's attention via email back in 2022. I was responded to by Dr. Perry on behalf of the district. But in speaking a little bit further, about a month ago with some of the board members, they were actually unaware of something that had happened and what's being put in front of our kids. And it's a very sensitive topic. And it's one that I want to, I want everyone to know that I'm compassionate about, but I also think that it is something that needs to be publicized to an extent, at least within the parents among the community with students in the district. To summarize really quickly, what happened was there was a contracted employee of our IT staff who had transitioned over holiday break. It was February 2022 when this affected my child. Over holiday break of February of 2021 to 2022. This contracted staff member had transitioned from a was different gender and was called into a classroom for my child for IT support. And my child said, "Hey, Mr. So-and-so." And Mr. So-and-so said, "It's Miss So-and-so." Okay, this is a 3rd grader. Okay. And so clearly there's distraction there. There's confusion. I was unaware that was someone in the staff of Todd Lane and Center Grange, so put in the front of our K-5 students. Fortunately, I have discussions at home with my kids about these types of things and worldviews and what's going on in the world these days. But I do think that it was a little early for me, what I would assume my son would be subjected to something like that. So as a parent, I would have liked to know that that was something that was possibly going to be happening in the school district, in the classroom, especially at that young age. So I told Mr. Ambrose, and Mr. Ross may have been listening that in particular time on election day when we were spending some time together, and it was unaware. He was unaware of that situation, and which, you know, caused a little bit of additional concern because I had emailed in the situation in February of 2022. And I had also called the school and tried to talk to some of this personnel, like, how long has Mr. been Mrs.? And, you know, just understanding. And it was an awkward conversation and just extremely uncomfortable. And so if two adults can't speak of it, how are we expecting to put this in front of our kids, kindergarten through 5, especially, and not let them question and not be able to prepare parents to talk about that at home in advance. To that point, fast forward to just a month ago, and another one of my children, and I'm going to be very vague on this one because of the audience here in the room, also had a Mrs. who was a Mr. A substitute. And again, I have had these conversations with my kids, but this is again a 3rd grader. And so while I understand it's sensitive, and while I understand the board has legal requirements and there's HIPAA laws and there's all types of protective, you know, requirements and legalities to this, I think there should be a way to address the community or let the parents know, hey, by the way, this is something that your kid at kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade might be subjected to. And so maybe have those conversations, even if it's a community event, even if it's a community seminar. I really think it's fair to the parents, and hopefully they hear this, and maybe this sparks conversation. And, you know, I realize that maybe this isn't something at the table that you can do, but at the podium, I can do this and I can create awareness. And so that's what I'm doing. I had sent a list of questions to the board. Everybody was copied on that. Dr. Perry did reply back on behalf of the district, on behalf of the board, and I did receive the answers. The questions, I'd like to go over them, but I don't know if I have time. My main concern too, an additional concern, is that gender dysphoria is considered a mental illness, right? And so while it is very sensitive, I want to know that I want everyone to just know that I'm compassionate about it. And I would not know what it would be like to have to struggle with not feeling comfortable with who I am and who I was born to be. With that being said, there are studies upon studies that 42% of transgender adults have attempted suicide. 56% have engaged in non-suicidal injuries. It's stated that 6.6 million people found that those who identify as trans at a 7.7 times the rate of suicide attempts more than cisgender, which is just being acceptable with who you think you are or who you were born to be. So if you could imagine someone who decided to change who they are gender-wise over the holiday break, that is a massive mental undertaking. And I know my time is up. Massive mental undertaking. So to put that person in front of our children, I just think it's irresponsible. I think it's irresponsible. And I understand that we are needing of staff and substitutes, and we do our best. I'm sure you do your best, but I think that the community needs to be aware that this is in front of our kids. And I don't want to turn a blind eye towards—
Start wrapping up, please.
Please. Yes, I appreciate that. If the board would suggest or would, consider reading my questions and the answers that you have probably in your inbox still for at some time public, I would appreciate that, or posting it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Brandy.
Mhm.
Okay. Any other public comment on non-agenda items? Okay. Any comments from the superintendent?
I have a couple. First of all, I'd like to congratulate you on your reappointment as president of the board, and Mr. Bloom, your reappointment as vice president of the board. Continue to look forward to working with the two of you. I'd like to welcome Mr. Annaline to the board and Mr. McDonald to the board. Look forward to working with you gentlemen as well. I also, as I say every week, want to remind folks that we're in desperate need of workers. I need custodians, we need cafeteria workers, we need paraprofessionals. you know, if people are looking for work, please send them to the website. I mean, we are really down on staff, bus drivers, you know, across the board. So I want to remind the public of that, to please check our website. And then finally, I want to congratulate our entire middle school community, our administration, our staff, our students, and all of our staff members that work there. They have been redesignated as a John Icord School to Watch again, which is a federal recognition. It's a state and federal recognition. This will be for the next 3 years. They've been redesignated, so that's quite an honor for our middle school staff, students, and the entire school community. So I want to congratulate them as well. That's all I have.
Any board member comments?
I'd like to congratulate our new appointees and welcome you to the school board.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Anybody else? Well, again, welcome, Anthony and Joel. We're gonna have fun working with you guys, so really looking forward to it. And again, thanks for your trust and confidence for another year. And I want to wish, on behalf of our school board, everybody a very, very Merry Christmas. We'll have a motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Bloom, seconded by Mr. Moed. Meeting adjourned.